Good morning, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Nick here with
Hi.
Skirmish Supremacy. I'm with Chris Birch and John Webb of Modiphius Entertainment. They're here at AdeptiCon. Good morning, gentlemen.
How we doing?
It is before the hall opens here in the vendor area, so we're trying to steal a few minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone should know exactly who Chris is, but John, if they don't know.
So I'm John. I manage the War Games department, so kind of in charge of pretty much the biggest team in the company now by mistake. So, so that's cool. We've been recruiting really hard over the past couple of months. So my team has grown massively. I tend to kind of have the overview of the whole process now. So working with the production guys, working with design and development, and then working with painters as well. Kind of painters and minis is my real jam, but I've got to earn my keep, so I have to do the grown-up work as well, kind of running the department and making sure we actually get our games out almost on time.
Almost on time.
Almost on
good.
time, yeah. Soon is our trademark phrase.
Well, I mean,
we're getting better. We are definitely getting better.
I also think that Fallout has been probably a better success than you expected with a higher demand.
Yeah.
Which,
And we knew it was going to be big, but it was spectacular.
Yeah, we sort of planned for X, and then sort of the numbers came in, and we were like, "Oh, we need to scale up fast on the resin."
Yeah.
So resin production is, we're aware it's been a little bit of a sticking point, but
and we also made the mistake of trying to do this big pre-order. It seemed a really good idea at the time, but
we did a year's worth of
producing
releases,
everything in 1 month for 1 month rather than just having it come out. So we're the next wave is coming out month by month. We're not releasing the Raiders until we've got the production ready. We're not doing a pre-order, so we're keeping it as simple as possible.
We only sell you what is in the warehouse now.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
right.
And we've also, we've been focused on getting restock of the Wave 1 stuff, Raiders, Super Mutants, Survivors, Brotherhood of Steel. Just making sure people actually can get all the base sets in retail.
All right. That's awesome. So what else did you bring here to AdeptiCon?
Well, we've got some pretty painted figures.
Yeah, so we brought some of the Wave 2 stuff. Maybe we'll get the camera on them in a little bit. Some previews of what's coming for Wave 2. So some of you may have heard the Raiders took a little detour. So they left our studio painter, who's based here in Chicago, about a month ago. And sort of 2 weeks later, I was like, Adam, I've not seen those models. And we look online and they've gone to South Korea. So the Raiders, I know, right? The Raiders took a little trip to South Korea for a holiday, yeah. So in the meanwhile, luckily, he'd already sent me the second half of Wave 2 because he painted it sort of back to front. So that kind of flipped our plans. So so we've got the XO1 and Dogmeat set that we're doing, Mysterious Stranger. We've got the Objective sets, which we hadn't shown off before, and Adam rushed for the show and got us a really, really kick-ass paint job on the Crash Vertibird scenery set. So you're going to see those. I mean, some of it's already in the warehouse, so like the weapons sprues, the junk barricades, the military barricades. Just as soon as we go back to the office, we're going to square up with the solicitations, and they'll be going out to retailers, which is great. Shortly thereafter, you'll see the robots and creatures for retail. So we know, like robots in particular, we cannot keep the robots in stock at the moment. Like, people are just going mad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they go on, they're gone. So we're going to get those into retail packaging, get them out to retailers, so it should make it a little bit easier for people to go onto the robots. And as part of Wave 2, you're going to see the first teaser for the robots as a full faction. So there's a couple of cards coming in the Wave 2 card pack that are robot faction specific. And then what they do is kind of prepare you for the Wave 3 release, which is going to be a full robot module that lets you customize your robots, change weapons, change body parts, really like that. The kind of the robot workbench from the Automatron.
Awesome.
So you'll be able to build crazy hybrid Frankenstein robots. The other thing we're doing with Wave 2 is we're doing some kind of going the other way. We're doing some reduced profiles. So one of the things with the robots is let's take Assaultrons for example. Assaultrons are really, really powerful in the game, to the point where you kind of get 1 or 2 in your force. So, you buy a box of 3 Assaultrons, you get to use 1 and a half of them in the game. That feels a bit disappointing. So we're doing some kind of in-between power level robots. So they're imagine there's an Assaultron, it's been out in the wasteland for a few years, it's started to rust a little bit, maybe its power cells draining. So it's not as good as the top level ones, but it's not replacing them. It's now you've got a choice. Do you want, 3 or 4 slightly weaker ones, or 2 or 3 really kick-ass ones. And we're doing that for a lot of the robots and a lot of the creatures, so that people can, once we start to bring those factions fully online, they have more of a kind of a range of models to play with, more choice to play. So that's kind of important. I think the Wave 2 card pack as well, we have announced it. People are mostly aware, but just to let people know, we're no longer going to be putting the cards in the boxes. It's been one of the things that's really hampered us with production, because cards come from one factory, miniatures come from another factory, they have to go somewhere and be assembled. It's slowed things down. So we're now just going to do one big card pack for Wave 2, and the plan is we'll always do one big wave card pack for each wave. There may be a supplemental wave pack, it depends. It's about number of cards. This is a very card-intensive game, and as much as I would love to put 800 cards in a box, the RRP on that would probably give people enough sticker shock that they'd be like, maybe not. So we're making sensible choices, but on the whole, there'll be one big wave card pack. I'll get you all your stat cards, your AI cards, quest missions, etc. Anything we do separate will be like a standalone block. So, for example, we're working on the power armor upgrade block. That might be in the Wave 3 card pack, or it might be a standalone block. We're just running the numbers on that.
And we also got, you can download the unit cards
yes,
and weapon
absolutely.
cards
That's
online anyway. So even if you buy a pack that doesn't have cards in it,
just jump on the
you can
website.
still get the stuff, even if your shop hasn't got a pack. But we're going to be working hard to make sure there's more than enough card packs in distribution.
Talk about the app. Did we mention the app?
Oh, the app.
Yeah. So
there might be an app.
There might be an app.
In development. There's army building. And
that will have all the card profiles.
New news.
Yeah, it's new news. Breaking news. Breaking the news
stuff.
An app that'll have everything.
And so that'll be again.
So will it also be a list builder?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And it'll have all the stats on it. So again, if you're like, I'm at the store, I've just bought a new box, I want to play. If you got the app, you can download the cards on that and get playing straight away. So it's quite a common thing now. You're seeing a lot in the industry. A lot of people are moving on to the digital. We do want to keep things practical for those who want it, but it's just really easy, flicking through your phone, checking your cards, and it's still in kind of like mid-beta now, but the app's looking really good. It's like we've sent out some of our playtesters like, this is really powerful, it does some really cool stuff. It tracks status effects of stuff in play, tracks wounds, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite a powerful little tool. It's on Android already. We've just started development of the iOS version as well, and it shouldn't be long before it's available, to be honest. So that's going to be a really good little help for us. So it softens the blow of the cards not coming in the box, perhaps.
Because it was strange to see that we're not going to get the cards in there. I think you're also taking the scenarios out of them.
They'll be free to download as well.
Which I'll be honest, when I was first opening everything, because I didn't know that there was a little scenario in there.
It's nice little bonus,
opening it, and it was like, ooh, this is neat. So
just
a little scenario.
We are planning to have like 3 big new scenarios every month as a goal. If you get that,
it's committed to it now.
I like how Chris is like, this is what we're trying to do, and John's like, I can already see it falling
that's
by.
The plan, is because they won't be in the boxes. We want to make sure people have got a constant flow of new scenario, and everyone can get them. So even if you don't buy that box, you get all the scenarios for free.
Because that was one of the
actually made all those for free to download. So every scenario that's in a box, you can actually get downloadable now anyway.
Right.
You don't have to get the box.
And that is one of the nice things overall that I've found about Fallout is that you other than basically buying the miniatures, you can get everything else you need to play right online. It's
what we've just
super and easy and accessible.
Kept back is all the narrative stuff, AI quests, events, all that sort of stuff. You need to buy the card pack to get. So we've made sure that you can buy the actual unit cards and weapons. So you can actually play versus games or just straight battle games with your current forces. So, but if you want all the new narrative stuff, the new events, new quests, then that's when you need to buy the new card packs.
So one of the advantages of moving to the card packs is sort of tricky thing with kind of the wave ones with the older model is we're writing a scenario and we're like, right, we need someone to have like this specific set of event cards, but those event cards are spread through like 7 different products. So we have no guarantees that someone's bought the 7 products they need to play this scenario.
Right.
So we ended up just being really hamstrung by what was in the core box only. By having just a card pack for a season, we know, we know they've got those event cards, so we can now write scenarios that use that material. And the other thing as well is it means you don't have to buy a faction for them. I'm a Brotherhood player. I don't necessarily want to go and buy a bunch of super mutants. Now I don't have to because the event cards and the quest cards that were in there, I get them in my Wave 2 card pack. So it's there's pros and cons to everything, but on balance we think this was the right choice. On the whole, everyone seems fine with it. Like there's been a lot of people saying it's a great idea. So
awesome. And actually, that those design decisions lead into actually one of the other things that I've mentioned on the podcast before, and continue to mention to anyone. And actually, I was flipping through looking for the core rule book to kind of just open it real quick. But it's the whole stuff that you've done for colorblind and accessibility. All those little details that you put in there to help make things just so much easier to use. And so even looking at the rulers that you have, and here's some of the really nice ones, but on the ones that even come in just the core box that are cardboard, you say, hey, it has, for the colorblind,
the corner
like this corner marking or whatever. But like in the book, you show that it's just on like the little Pip-Boy symbol, but in reality, it's actually on the entire thing. So you can look at the whole thing. You don't have to try and find the very center of it to look. You can really look down quick and notice which corners are rounded or not.
I guess it's really interesting. So a lot of people come to the game, we demo the game. And when you first look at it, there is quite a lot of information to take in. So there's a lot of stats, a lot of colors, a lot of icons. But actually, the game itself is the kind of the core of the game is very simple, very easy to learn. And one of the decisions with the colors versus a more traditional war game, this is kind of your jam, isn't it? It was about that kind of the way the brain kind of learns information. It learns colors, it learns patterns. It can recognize that way faster. And it means you're not like endlessly flicking through a rule book and looking at tables and charts and doing mental math and all sorts. So I think a lot of people, when their first glance, they kind of freak out a bit. But actually, within 3 or 4 dice rolls, you get it. You understand what's happening. And it becomes a very intuitive system. But with enough depth that it's not a simple game by any stretch of the imagination.
Not by any stretch.
And there's 11 decks, right? So I think that's been really interesting. I think people should always give it a try. Don't freak out about the dice and the rules and everything, because once the colored dice, how the rulers work for measurement, and how skill checks work, you kind of know the core of the game, and that will take you through to 80-90% of that experience. Everything after that is basically laid out on the cards, so there really is not a huge amount of rulebook reading at all. We hope. We tried.
I mean, I like it. I even like how the rule books are put together. You have one that has all the core rules, so if you do have to read something,
you only need that one.
You don't need to grab a huge book. You just grab one little one, and then you have the other one that you leave open for your scenario. Which is the other bonus, is that I don't have to close where I am for my scenario, or stick a card in there or anything else. I can just leave that open, and I can reference the rule book.
You're making it sound like we maybe know what we're doing, which is
worrying. It's scary in war games.
We need to make notes of what we did so we do it again.
No, it's a compliment. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Good. Are you looking forward to the RPG? The RPG's coming.
I am. I don't get a lot of chances to play RPGs, but yes, I'm looking forward to it.
It's an extension of the miniatures game, so it's a book that's coming for August. So it's going to give you a deeper role-playing experience using the core system. It gives you all the kind of missing parts that you need, character creation, etc.
If you've got the core box and you play Wasteland Warfare, you've got your models, you already have 80-90% of what you need to play the RPG. Just pick up the book, which we're hoping to get to Gen Con, and you're set. Now, if you don't already and you are interested in RPG, we're doing a box set a little bit later down the road that is kind of a jumping off point for the pure role players. But it really is, the idea is it's kind of it's an expansion for Wasteland Warfare. Everyone's been asking for we've already got the deep settlement campaign, but how do we level up characters? How do we do progression there? This is kind of that side of the coin.
You could say it's a very deep campaign system. Because the game is almost a role-playing game. I literally could role-play now with it, by filling in the gaps. So, but this just means that you can either play it as a full role-playing where you're doing mind's eye style encounters where we go and see the guy in the town, try and convince him to give us some new gear. But then we lay out vault and do a battle inside the vault. Actually, it's another thing that's coming. We've got a big vault terrain set.
Don't tell them that. I love Chris always does this. It's like, yeah, John's got these toys on his desk that aren't ready yet, but we'll announce them anyway.
Yeah,
we're just working out the kind
well,
of
you know,
logistics.
I mean, spoilers are nice.
Sure.
I'm told there's something that you can't tell me.
Yeah, and we can't tell
That's
you.
really
That
sad.
that one hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts me, man. It
Yeah.
hurts me. But
Yeah.
that announcement will come very soon. I think people are going to, they're going to lose their mind when they see it. I think it's very exciting. And I think the other thing as well is, every show we go to, we learn. So there's been, things that we'll do slightly differently for the next show. So Gen Con, we'll bring slightly different balance of stock. What you'll start to see as well is a lot more promo stuff. So they won't be show exclusives per se. We'll sell them online during the weekend of the show. But they'll bring some fun stuff. Like I got some very interesting items on my desk at the moment, shall we say that?
So
we'll be bringing to Gen Con.
What I'm hearing is that just as a social media marketing side of things, is that every now and again, on Fridays or something, there's a corner of John's desk that has a picture taken and posted. Here's something that's, but you've got to make sure to put a blur filter over it.
Well, this is
so
it.
You can kind of see what John's desk
what's
looks
that
like. But
weird green blob on John's desk at the moment? That's what I'm going to give you, and I'm not going to tell you what that weird green blob is, but there is a weird green blob. It's on my desk for sure. He's very green and very blob, and I'll let you guys work it out from there.
Okay.
So,
a very green blob.
we're making a Ghostbusters walk. No, we're not making.
There we go. Oh wow.
That's not true.
No, that could actually be a really fun war game.
Cool.
All right. Well, any other things you
What
want
else can we
to
talk about?
I mean,
We can talk about Lloyd. Lloyd is giving us the Lloyd signal.
Poor Lloyd.
With our amazing
Lloyd,
customer service person.
quickly come in. Tell us how your first Wargame show
It's like an
was.
official interview. I can't interrupt it by going and take someone's space. Hi, everyone.
So this is
I'm
Lloyd. He's
Nice
the
to
most
meet you.
important member of staff on Modiphius because he's the guy that answers all the angry emails.
Hello.
All lovely emails that we get.
Yes.
So if you've ever lost blue Fallout dice, this is the guy that posts them to you along with Sean.
yeah, we.
How's your AdeptiCon been? You're not
You know what? I've had a really good time.
as a kick-ass wargamer that you absolutely are not.
As the kick-ass wargamer that I am going to be,
Sure.
eventually in the
Sure.
future at some point, I've had a fantastic
Good.
time. It's one of my favorite mementos.
It's been the greatest game of the show that you've seen.
This is the greatest game.
I mean, obviously Fallout Waste and Warfare, but if
It's
it
right here.
wasn't Fallout Waste and Warfare, what's your pick for the show?
See, you said that, and Chris isn't even listening, so
Sure.
it's-
So, like, I just
you
lost
didn't
money,
get
right?
any job security.
I don't know. I'm kind of down for Barnacle Bay.
Barnacle Bay.
kind of down for Barnacle Bay.
Ironically, at the wargaming convention, one of the only board games on the floor is the one that
It's the
he's
one that
down
he
with.
plays.
Now, that said, I love Barnacle Bay.
I bought it. I actually bought it. Like,
Awesome.
Why are we promoting another company?
I
on
know,
this
what am I doing?
chat?
Also,
That
buy
is
Fallout.
funny.
Fallout's
Well,
really
because you
important.
asked him
I did,
besides
because
Fallout.
I knew what the answer was.
Right. Well, there you go. You just wanted to give him. You're trying to get him in trouble with Chris.
Always.
You're gonna show him the video.
My life is making.
So I'm just gonna bleep
Lloyd's
that whole
life.
section out. It's just gonna be beep. All he did was say really nice things
Yeah.
about Modiphius.
Yes, which I love. It's a company I work for, and I love it to bits, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
You suck.
It's true, though. I love my job. It's great. Also helps I live next door. But that's not the point.
But all right, gentlemen,
Yeah.
I wanna thank you both
No
for
worries,
your
mate.
time.
Good to see you.
And Chris, but he ran
He's
off
run away.
with
He's got
the
to
Black
cut
Site
some
Studio
sweet girls,
guys.
no doubt.
Can't wait
Are you
to
going
go
to
for
be
that
at
later.
Gen Con?
I will most likely not be at Gen
Oh,
Con. 5,000 people I can kind of deal with.
Sure.
80,000 people I cannot.
I feel you, man. I understand.
I
Well, if
am
people
just-
are coming to Gen Con, come and
But-
see the weird green blobby thing on
Yes,
the stand.
weird green blobby thing on the stand. Are you guys going to be at Salute?
Yes.
We're going to do a salute.
I will be at Salute.
No way.
Wow,
I
you're coming down for salute?
I
in, it's in a week's
actually
time,
kind
right?
of going up for Salute.
Okay,
you know,
good.
Okay.
because Atlanta's
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, come see us in a week's time and
Yeah. No,
maybe we'll have some promos. I don't know. We'll see what
there-
happens
there
in the
we
week
go.
between me
All
landing
right.
and just.
With any luck, I'll see you at salute.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Sounds great.
I should be
Thank
back
you,
in time.
gentlemen.
Pleasure to see you. We'll see you next week. it
See you
turns
next week.
out.
See you
Crazy.
next week.